grab your band, you can just let it be draped around your neck for starters. We're going to find our Pilates posture by bringing our feet parallel. That might be zipped up as if you have one leg, or it can be hip distance apart. We're going to pull in our abs. We're going to lengthen our tailbone. We're going to roll our shoulders open. We're going to slide tall through the top back side of your head. Last week, we focused a lot on that area at the base of your neck, you know, at the top of your thoracic vertebra that sometimes begins to round. So think about opening those vertebra or that vertebra, creating space, and keep that in mind during class. And then we're just going to shrug the shoulders up on an inhale, drop them back and down on an exhale. We're going to do just a couple of those, inhaling and exhaling, and inhaling and exhaling. On this one, leave those shoulders up, nod your head from side to side, give a little tuck of the chin, and get a little loosening of your neck, please. Good, and then relax that. All right, we're going to start easy, but then the first thing after that we do will be a little bit challenging. So all you're going to do for now is just fold your band in half. Bring it between your thumb and your index finger. You don't have to grasp it. Maybe just let it rest there because this first thing won't require a strong grip. Bring that down. Shoulders roll up, back, and down. Hands are about shoulder width apart. Pull your ribs in and lift the band up just to shoulder height. So as you do that, immediately notice if you lean your shoulders back and try and keep them right above your hips. And then all I want you to do towards your pinky fingers is pull outward, pull outward. So it looks like this from the front, pulling out, pulling out. I'm drinking a cup of tea with my fingers up, right? Pinky up. But again, noticing if those ribs pop, try not to let that happen. One more time. If you don't have shoulder issues, lift your arms a little higher and do that same thing. Pull out, pull out, pull out. If you do have shoulder issues, you're going to stay here or go bent elbow. And then finally, without letting those ribs pop, lift your arms overhead. If this happens, pull everything down and pull outward, outward, outward. Press, press, press. 4, 3, 2. Hold the press out. Feel your triceps working. Pull those abs a little deeper and then relax everything down. So during class, a lot of our work will be arms overhead, pressing out with that band. So keep in mind that the whole point is that it challenges you to use your abs to keep your ribs down. Okay, here's the challenging one I mentioned, because we're going to be working multiple parts of our body, including our balance. So if you need a wall nearby, that's fine. Otherwise, step into your mat with your left foot, band, and bring that band into your left hand. And again, for starters, maybe just between thumb and index. Shift your weight into your right leg, lift your left knee up so it's right in line with your hip. And then you're going to extend the leg, right? And then we're going to take that hand, right? And if we're okay with it, we're going to press it straight. So leg is straight and arm is straight. But then we're going to bend them both and straighten them both. Bend them both, straighten them both. Bend, straighten. My pinky is towards the back of the room. I should be working my tricep in this left arm and my quad in that right leg. If you need to have your leg down here so it's not engaging your hip flexor too much, that's fine. But the more you get it up here, the more you're probably going to feel it in your quad. If this is too much, just hang on to the band and press. But make sure you have a tension enough that you do feel your quad working, right? Otherwise, keep going. I'm just reformatting here for a second. Whoops. Right? And then we press back and kick forward. Press back and kick forward. So tricep and quad. And then finally, if you want to add one more element, you bend your other knee at the same time. Everything straightens. Bend, straighten, bend, straighten. A lot of balance. So as I said, if you need to come to a wall, right, and keep hold of things, that's fine. Maybe you're bending both knees, maybe not, no worries. I think we should be done by now, at least your tricep. 3, thank you, Carol. 2 and 1, and relax. All right, we're going to take a moment, even though we meant to work the quad, not that hip flexor. We're going to sit back with that left leg, tuck the hips under, and then bend that left knee so it comes directly under the hip. So you start to feel that hip flexor stretch. Then bring your arm up. You can lift it behind you. You can lift it away. And then finally, give a little tuck and bring the rib and the hip even closer and feel that come deeper. All right, what we do on one side, we get to do on the other. So we're going to step into that band with the right foot. And then we're going to lift that knee up even with your hip. Choke up on the band if you need to. Extend that leg. And then bend and extend, bend and extend. And then when you're ready, you add on bending knee and arm and extend them both at the same time. If you need to flip your grip so it's a little more comfortable, your pinky heading towards the back, that's fine. So press through the leg and press back through the tricep. And of course, if you want to add, you bend the other knee and everything extends at once, right? So pinky pressing backwards, so you're working that tricep, both knees, or at least one, this knee bending and straightening, and pressing against that band, right? Don't just, bend and straighten, but bend and press so you feel that work in that quad. Good, couple more times. Bending and straightening everything at the same time, holding onto a wall if you need to. Last two and last one. And then again, we're going to step back with that right leg. I'm going to tuck that hip under, we're going to bend that knee, arm up towards the back if you want, and then finally tuck the ribs and the hips together. Someone needs saving here. You're ridiculous. All right, okay, so hopefully that lower body is feeling kind of warmed up, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to come on down onto the ground, and you're going to sit down. Sit on those sit bones, roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Let's take hold of that band, fold it in half again, a little wider than hip distance, or excuse me, shoulder distance. Press back and down, hinge back just a little bit, only so much that you can still keep your toes on the ground. And then press out toward your pinkies, press out, press out. Again, you're gonna feel some shoulder and some tricep, but your abs are just in an isometric hold right here. Right? So they're just holding on, pressing open, 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 open. Lower your hands, pull your belly button in, and sit up nice and tall. Good. Lift up tall. And then, she's cracking me up. Exhale, hinge back. Same thing again, or for a little more challenge, you lift those arms a little higher, just like we did at the beginning of class. Press out, ribs pulled in, back of the neck long. Notice that you don't want to roll into that turtle position. 2 and 1, lower the hands, exhale, roll up, inhale, sit tall. And then we have one last option, hinge back, either arms in front or a little higher, or all the way up over your head. But again, try not to let your body round if you choose to do that. Press out, press out, press out, and out, and out, and press. 3, 2, 1, bring it up. Give yourself a little extension. All right, now we're going to keep that band doubled up. We're going to just bring it behind our hamstrings, and we're going to hinge back, and then we're going to use our biceps to pull ourselves back up by pulling the belly button in and using the biceps. So easy peasy, right? Hopefully. So just a couple kind of miniature roll downs, just exhaling back and inhaling forward, not a big deal here. And if you don't need the band for help, then you barely use your biceps. But if you're using them, then really be aware to pull those abs in as you come up. And then see if you can go a little farther back and still come up without your feet coming off the ground. Could you go a little farther back and still come up? Could you go a little farther back, maybe your shoulder blades touch and come up? Could you go all the way down and roll it back up without your feet coming off the ground? So what we're trying to do here is roll up and down without using momentum, without kicking our feet out. On this last one, roll all the way down and you get to stay down, and you can move that band to the front side of your body. All right, so fingers are reaching long, index finger and thumb are holding the band, deep breath in. Exhale, pull those ribs down. If you want to do a pelvic tilt, tuck those hips under, protect that low back. And if you want to come neutral, then you go not all the way to a tip, but just a little gap under that low back. And then deep breath in, pull the ribs down, and all we're going to do, lying down, bring the arms over your head. They don't quite touch the ground, and press out, just a little tension, and then back over your head. Inhale, arms go up, and exhale, bring them back. Inhale, up, exhale, back. When you bring them overhead, be aware, oops, are my ribs popping up? Don't let that happen. One more time, arms up overhead, and exhale above you, adding on. Exhale, lift the torso up if that's okay with you. Inhale, arms overhead, press out towards pinkies. Exhale, down, deep breath in. Exhale, lift. Inhale, reach and press, and exhale, down. Again, exhale, lift. Inhale, press, exhale, down. One more time, exhale up. Inhale, lift, press out. Reach your fingers long, pull your belly button in. Lift your legs tabletop, knees right above your hips, and then add the leg extension. Then you're going to bend the knees, tap the band to your knees. Inhale, reach, exhale, tap. Inhale, reach, exhale, tap. Keep going. If your neck is bugging you, head down, right? Take that time out, nod your head yes, tuck the chin a little bit. Good. And then we're just going to do a couple more double leg stretches, whether your head is up or down. And then we're going to hold it. So one more, and we hold. Reach through the toes, reach through the fingers, sink the belly button, lengthen through the back of the neck, press the arms a little bit open, open the legs equal, just a little bit, press out, reach, 3, 2, 1. Woo, band to the fronts of your shins. Use that to give your back a nice stretch by hugging those knees in nice and close. Maybe take a little rock side to side. All right. So single leg stretch with the band, super fun. Again, the band is doubled up, and sorry, mine are uneven there. We're going to bring the left knee up, and we're going to place the band across the front of the thigh, right? So my fingers are reaching towards the ankles. The band is across the front of the thigh. Right foot is on the ground for now. Deep breath in. On the exhale, lift yourself up and press. Try and reach your arms even longer and try and pull your knee in, but neither one is going to win. So I'm not going to pull in. I'm not going to press away. Both are going to stay. There was that rhyme again. Right knee up, extend the leg, and then reach through the right toes. So it's going to be a simple little move here. Inhale, and then on the exhale, reach the right toes, pull the left knee towards you, reach the hands away from you. Inhale, press and reach. Inhale, press, reach, and reach, and reach, and reach, and keep that going. So the idea here is that your left knee isn't really moving, your right knee is bending slightly and then extending, but you're working those abs. You might even feel it a little more on the left side than the right. You guys look good. All right, bring it on down. Let's move to the right side. So right knee in tabletop, band across the front of the thigh, fingers reaching, back of the neck is long. Exhale, head, neck, and shoulders off the ground, and then press in with the knee and away with the hands. When you're ready, add that left knee and extend. All right, and then on the exhale, we bend the left knee slightly, on the inhale, and then we reach on the exhale and reach. And reach the whole time. My arms are stretching, my shoulders are on my ears, my right knee is trying to come in, but I'm using my hands to not let that happen. And press, and press, and press, and press. Keep going, and press, and press, and 2 and 1. And then once again, just hug those knees in. And while you're there, you're gonna loop that right foot. And then it comes straight up. And then the band is in your right hand. Woo, band in hand, another rhyme. All right, so we're gonna do leg circles. Remember with leg circles, left hand is maybe on your low abs so you can keep track that they're staying solid and your hips aren't wobbling. And you're just gonna start little circles. You start your circles with an inhale and you finish with an exhale. You go in one direction and then you reverse. So what I want you to notice is what's going on in the left hip. Is it wobbling? If it's wobbling, use your control in your abs to not let that happen. If you have the flexibility, stretch your left leg out on the ground, flex through the heel, and then finally, because we're using these bands, you might be able to make your leg circle bigger without chaos occurring in your left hip, right? So nice big circles, or however controlled you need them to be with that right leg while the left leg stays in place. What are you doing? Good. Just a couple more here. Beautiful. Slide that left foot in next to the right and take the right foot down. Band to the left hand, point your toes, right hand checking in with those right hips so that as you start your circle, your right hip stays in place. The other thing you can look at is your right knee. If it's wobbling side to side, that's also information. And then if you are okay with it, you can straighten your right leg, flex through the heel, try and get the back of the knee closer to the ground. When you start your circle, it starts with an inhale, it finishes with an exhale, and you reverse your direction every time. And then bend, oh, sorry, don't bend that knee in, add the right leg to it. So now we have both legs. We're going to hold on to those bands, and you may have to play with this depending on how long your band is. Point your toes. You're going to start a double leg lower, but what is going to happen because you're using the band, you should be able to go maybe an inch farther than usual, but never so far that your ribs pop up, right? And then exhale and come back up. Inhale to reach and exhale to lift. Inhale to reach and exhale to lift. You could, if you wanted to, slide your feet out a little wider, right? Just a little bit of difference here, and you'll feel a little bit of outer hip work, which we're going to go into in just a moment anyway. All right, and then everybody legs straight above you. If you didn't widen your feet, I want you to widen your feet, and then let's just put those arms in right angles. I want you to turn your toes slightly in, so you look a little pigeon-toed, and then press out on the band, and then lower your legs, not to your maximum challenge, but to a little bit of challenge, and then press out, out, out. And think about only pressing out, not coming so far in that the tension comes off your band. You press out, out, out. See if you can engage your quads to keep the knees straight. Press out, out, out. Now, adding on, press out, 4, and you're going to come up at the same time. 4, 3, 2, 1, go down. 4, 3, 2, 1, and up. 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. 4, 3, 2, and up. Just keep that going. But if that makes one or the other thing not happen anymore, right? In other words, if you're losing track of your abs and your low back's popping up, or if you're losing the pulse or the push out on the legs, then either slow it down or maybe do just one up and one down, or just hold and press out. I hope you're feeling this in your other hips by now. I am. Last one, woo, hug those knees in. We will stretch those outer hips out, but not quite yet because we have more. All right, so bridge time. Fold that band in half, and one hand is simply going to go through the fold, right? The fold that you created here, and you probably don't even have to use any kind of grip there. And then the other hand, again, you want to just try to have index fingers and thumb. And then hands are long. Try and get all 10 fingertips on the ground, the back of the wrist as close as possible, forearm, elbows, triceps, and shoulders, and then rib cage, back of the neck long. So bridge, feet can be hip distance or touching, and we press up against the band. Keep your hands on the ground, and you should feel a little tricep work or a lot. And now, not lifting your hands, press the hips a little higher. Press up, press up, press up, press up, lead the hips up, bring them so high that your hands come up. And then with your hands, press down, press down, press down, press down. Now we put those two things together. Press the hands down, lift the hips. Press the hands down, lift the hips. Press down to lift, press down to lift. Now we add on. Extend your right leg straight out next to the left knee. So here we go. Press down to lift up, press down to lift up. That left glute and hamstring should feel this. Press down to lift, press down to lift. Two more. Down to lift, down to lift. Right knee bends, left leg extends right next to the right knee. So it's not way up here, it's not way down here. Here we go. Press down with the hands and up with the hips. Down with the hands, up with the hips. Down and up. Two more. Down and up, down and up. I like one more. And relax. Woo, shake everything out. Let's give the wrists a little attention. So drop your right hand forward, press down, fingers long, and then flip your fingers up and pull back. Make a gentle fist with your right hand and pull down. And now you're going to rotate your whole hand, so from the shoulder, so your palm is facing the ceiling, and pull down that way. And again, nice straight arm so we get that tendon. Shake that out. Left hand, shoot that basketball, pull the hand down, feel that stretch on the wrist, flip it backwards, long fingers, gentle fist, roll it down, pull back, and then finally palm faces the ceiling, and again we press back. Okay, shake that out. And now we're going to bring that band onto our ankles. We're going to hold on really close. We're going to curl up in a little ball, elbows wide, forehead towards your knees. We're going to start rolling like a ball. Exhaling to roll, inhaling a little pause at the top. Exhaling to roll, inhaling, pausing at the top. Last two. And last one, hold here, shoulders out of your ears. Bring that band behind your hamstring. So now you can kind of hold your legs up and see if you can extend those legs. So I'm holding on, I'm using the band to hold my legs up. That should be easier than not having the band. All right, and that's a preview of things to come. Bend the knees, sorry. And then we're going to take the band, and you have two options. Let's do the safer option to start with. Take the band across the top of both feet and then pull it around behind your arches. And my feet are a little bit apart, right? So it kind of looks like that. If you know your band won't roll, you could just put it behind your feet. Okay, so now choke up on the band, your hands pretty close to your feet, and find what you just did a minute ago, right? Remember that balance? And then extend those legs. And again, it should still be, I'm not going to say easy, but easier than usual because the band is helping you. When you're ready, slide your hands farther away and see if you can lift them up and lift your chest up so you're not rounded and see if you can find a balance. And yes, we are going to turn this into a rocking motion by pulling your belly button in. And then when you come up, try and stick that balance for a moment. So you exhale to roll and you inhale, stick the balance at the top. Exhale to roll, inhale, stick the balance. You guys know if you need to modify something, that's fine. At the beginning of class, we did that assisted roll down. You could be doing that if this one bothers you. On this last one, let's come up, balance for a moment, press out with your legs, bend your knees, put your heels on the ground. Keep everything how it is. Sit tall, sit tall. Thank you. Bring your head over your shoulders. Yeah, all right. And then we're going to go into spine stretch. So the first thing I want you to do is scoot up on your sit bones. And then we're going to use the bands so we can kind of roll our hands forward to pull ourselves deeper into spine stretch without rolling, right? Maybe you'll be able to straighten your legs, but only if you can do that and still sit up out of the hips. And then you just can pull yourself farther forward using some posture muscles, shoulder blade area. Beautiful. And then we'll sit up. All right, we're gonna unravel our feet for now, but please remember that because some of you will know what's coming later. We'll be back to that. For now, you're gonna fold your band in half again. You're gonna be facing me, and I want you to take the folded side across your the top leg, right? So all I have to do is hold there, and then I'm gonna grab the tail end of the band with my same top hand. You're gonna lie down on your side. Your knees are stacked, your feet are stacked, your hips are stacked, and your arm is underneath your ear, not folded forward, but in a long straight line. Lift your waistline off the ground, drop it, lift it, drop it, lift it, leave it up. Knuckles are on the ground, right? So we're gonna have to use a little bit of arm work. We're gonna lift the top leg even, right? So I didn't lead with the foot, I didn't lead with the knee. And then once there's tension on the band, I want you to push up from there, push up from there, push up. Good. Now put your foot on the ground or next on the other foot, keep your knees open. And now from there, press open even more. So clam, press open, press open. So both knees are bent, feet are together, pressing waistline off the ground. 3, 2, 1, listen up. Close your knees, lift your heels in the air, rotate heels together, press your top knee open, leave it there, and press farther open. More, more, more. Last 2 and last 1. Woo! Hopefully that upper hip felt that. We're going to come up and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So again, it's easier if your loop, your folded side is on that top, across the top leg. And then you'll grab the tail end and knuckle down. Your arm is right underneath your ear. Your waistline is lifted. Your knees are stacked. Your hips are stacked. Your feet are stacked. Drop your ribs, lift your ribs, drop them, lift them, drop, lift, leave them lifted, knuckle down. Top leg is going to lift up in a nice even line. So knee and ankle are even, knees bent, and press up and press up, press up and press and press and press. 3, 2, and 1. Feet go together and now press open like a clam. More, more. More. Good. Knees down, legs up in the air, lower leg. Open up in your clam and again press open more and more. And again, notice if your waistline is wanting to drop, keep that lifted and press and press and press. Almost here. Oh, and relax. Woo, okay. You are going to roll over onto your abs and let's go ahead and leave the band folded in half and just drape it as you roll across your low back and sacrum area. When you lie on your abs, point your toes, your ankles are off the ground and your kneecaps are off the ground, but your toenails, the tops of your feet, are down. Then you're going to slide your hands underneath the band. Palms are facing the ceiling. And then just bring your forehead or your chin down to the mat. And you'll probably notice from this position, our shoulders really roll forward, right? So all I want you to do with your toenails pressing into the ground and your kneecaps lifted, feet either touching or hip distance apart, lift your shoulders off the ground. That's all, right? So I didn't lift any part of my body except my shoulders. So now I'm already having to use some posture muscles. Then from there, straighten your arms, reach them down your legs, right? So I'm not lifting my arm upward towards the sky or that would roll my shoulders forward, but I'm reaching my arms down towards my knees, the backs of my knees, and exhale down. Inhale to prepare, exhale, lift the shoulders. Inhale, slide your hands down your leg, reach and hold. Press the toenails into the ground. Knees are lifted. and exhale down. Deep breath in. Exhale, stretch, lift, reach. Inhale at the top, reach through those arms. You could even press outward with your hands for a little extra work. And down, deep breath in. Here we go again. Exhale, stretch, lift. If you wanted just a little more challenge and your legs were apart, bring them together. And then one more time like this, deep breath in, shoulders lift, then we stretch and reach. And this time, see if you can lift yourself a little higher, not by lifting those arms, but by stretching them farther away from you, and relax. Let's bend the knees and just windshield wiper side to side. And then we'll do one more extension. This time the band is going to be out in front of you and still folded in half. And you probably want your hands at the very edges this time. Then toenails down, shoulders out of your ears, deep breath in, exhale, keep your hands on the ground, but lift yourself up. So now my hands are supporting me. Notice what your shoulders are doing. Pull them back and down, get them out of your ears. Press the toenails into the ground, and then if you feel as if you have the strength, try to lift your arms, lift, reach, stretch out on the band, reach, toes are down, and exhale down. Let's do that again. Hands support you, sort of like a baby cobra, shoulders out of your ears, kneecaps lift, toenails stay down, belly button in, arms lift, reach, hold, stretch, and down, deep breath in, exhale, press, lift, reach, stretch, and down. One more time, deep breath in, exhale, lift, kneecaps lifted, arms up, reach, and down. And now we'll press back, resting position. Hips can sit back, arms in front or by your side. You can make little fists and bring them behind your knees. And then we're going to come up, and as we come up, we're going to bring the band, unfolded this time, around our shoulder blades and underneath the armpits. So you look like that. And the tail will be pretty long, but you'll probably slide your hands forward a little bit. All right, and then you're going to mosey your way down onto your elbows. And then notice if your wrists have cocked, try to straighten out your wrists. Pinkies on the ground, elbows right underneath your shoulders, back of the neck is long, band is right behind your shoulders. We're going to do a plank here. So the first thing I want you to do, head in line with the spine. Collarbone pulls back, abs pull in, ribs pull back, and then just lift your hips off the ground. You can keep everything else on the ground. That's your phase one. Check and make sure your pinkies are on the ground and your hands didn't come together. Phase two, roll onto the fronts of your thighs, point your toes up in the air. Phase three, tuck your toes and press those legs straight. Now, once you're up, no matter which position, all I want you to do is imagine you're stretching the band by pushing your shoulders against it. Push against it, push against it, press. Keep going. And relax. Ooh, all right. No tension, you can push back, you could stretch to one side, whatever might feel good. You can do a little cat cow. We're gonna roll back over onto our spine in just a moment, and go to the hardest, the tough exercise of the day. So when you're ready, make your way back over. All right, so I'm gonna give you multiple options here. Here's option one. What we did at the beginning of the class, band behind your thighs and use that to assist yourself in a roll down, right? You can make it 2 counts just down and up, or you can go back, you can hold, come up, hold. If you're able to do it as a full roll up, do that. So those are the first 2 options. Next option, we're going to lasso our feet as we did earlier when we did the open leg rocker. So band is going to come across the tops of the feet and then around behind the arches. But this time, you might want to have your feet a little bit closer together. All right. So now A minute ago, we did that roll down, right? Using our biceps to help us. We're going to try that, but our legs are in tabletop. Now, here's the challenge. You want to try to keep your knees right above your hips, especially when you come up. So what that probably means is you're going to have to choke up on the band so you're not doing that, right? So we lift ourselves up, we keep our knees right close to us. So you're trying to roll all the way down, keep the legs where they are, and roll back up until your ribs are touching your thighs or close. All right, that's next option. Next option is actually a little easier because you're going to try and keep your torso in place, but lift and lower your legs, right? And that can be done on this angle. If that's too much for your low back, you can certainly come here. All right, third and final, or not third, this is like fifth option, right? Is the full teaser. So a minute ago, we did this awesome rocking, right? We let our body rock. It's the opposite of that. Because in the teaser, we don't rock. Everything is down and then everything is up in that V. And then everything is down and then everything is up in that V. So try a few of whichever version you want to do. And we're going to do one more, and we're going to meet in your best position. And then we're going to relax. Okay, so you can untangle everything and lie back down. We are going to start by putting that band across your right foot, and you have options. You can bring it across widthwise. You could bring it up near the ball of the foot and the toe if you know it's not going to slip, or you could even put your foot in the band parallel with it, right? Again, knowing that it won't slip. So you choose. I'm going to go here today. And then the band is on the right foot and the band is in your right hand. Left leg is bent, right shoulder back and down, point the foot and then pull the toes back, pull the ball of the foot back, press the heel to the sky, and then do that one more time the opposite way, ball of the foot and then toes reach up. Then drop the right elbow to the side until it rests on the ground and your right leg can simply hang in space. So the inner right thigh and the right hamstring should be getting a beautiful stretch here. Then we're going to use the left hand to pull that back to center. We're going to grab both sides of the band this time. And we're going to bend the right knee in and choke up on the band till we can try and get the rib and the thigh to touch and press through the heel. Now, you might see my leg shaking, a little muscle tetany here, because this is already a pretty deep hamstring stretch. If you want to increase it, straighten that leg out. Keep your toes turned down towards you. And then if you want, point, that'll lift your arms up just a little bit and then flex back down. So playing with that point and flex, keep that going. Couple more times. Beautiful. And then the band is going to move into your left hand and we're going to straighten out that left leg and flex through the heel. The right leg is going to turn in and we're going to let it angle over to the left until you start to feel an outer hip, IT band, outside of your shin, maybe even into your ankle if you give it a little sickle there. And you might even be able to slide your left elbow onto the ground and get a deep stretch as you let that leg hang in space. And then right hand is going to assist that back. We're going to bend that right knee and put it on the outside of the left thigh. Let it flop open, figure 4, and then bend the left knee to slide it in. And then you might want to just take your band around so you can use it to grab your left hamstring and pull that knee in and use your right elbow to press the right leg open. And square things up, right? So don't have your knee too far off to the side, have it above your hip if possible, have your shin parallel to the ground. And if you want, you could extend that left leg, give it a little circle at the ankle, And then finally, take the band away, close the gap, and then put the band across the left shin and pull down. Take a little rock side to side. And then lastly, arms out into a T, knees are going to drop to the left. And that should give you that beautiful twist, but also give you a nice stretch in that right outer hip. Use your left elbow, push everything back through center. Keep your legs crossed right over left and let them drop to the left. And now that weight of that right leg is giving that left hip a nice stretch here. And then use the right elbow, push everything back through center, uncross your legs, straighten them out. Hopefully one side feels better than the other. I hope it's your right side. Bend both knees again. You're gonna lasso that left foot, again, however you want to. And then you're gonna bring that into your left hand, and we're gonna do a couple point flexes with the toes coming back, the ball of the foot back, heel up, and then ball of the foot up, toes up. And maybe one more time through that range. And then we'll let the left elbow drop onto the floor and hang that left leg in space. So inner thigh and hamstring getting a stretch. Right elbow is going to assist everything back. We're going to choke up on that band, bring it in really, really close here. Get the knee and the thigh to touch, press the heel towards the sky. And for a deep stretch, you straighten that leg out. You might want to point and flex again. Beautiful. And then the band slides into your right hand only, right leg extends, turn the left toes in, bring it just a few inches across your body till you feel that outer hip, IT band, outer shin and ankle stretch. And then maybe you can drop that right elbow onto the floor and let the left leg hang in space for a deeper stretch. And as you come back, you can just kind of lose the band for just a second. Put the left ankle across the right thigh, drop it open. And then when you're ready, bend the right knee and maybe use that band to pull it closer as you press the left leg open, shin as much as parallel to the ground as possible. And then you could extend that right leg and do some ankle circles again with the right. And then give it a nice hug in, close the gap completely, bring that band across your right shin, take a little rock, and then no band, knees drop right, let them rest, feel that deep stretch, and maybe you can notice how you get a nice stretch in that left hip. Use your right elbow to push everything back through center and drop your knees over to the left. And now the weight of that left leg is pulling that right hip into a stretch. And then again, we'll press back through center, bend the knees, and then stretch the legs out. Arms go up overhead. We're going to mosey our way onto our hands and knees. If you want to simply do a roll up, that's fine. If you want to roll over onto your side to get there, that's fine. And meet me, we'll start with a staggered cat cow today. So take your left hand and bring it in front. Take your right knee and bring it ahead of the left knee. And then all you're going to do is cow forward and cat back. Oh, sorry. All right, and then square everything up again. Take your right hand forward and your left knee forward, and we'll cow cat. Where is my cat? She was so active earlier. Keep it going. All right, and then we'll square everything up, regular old cat, and cow. Shoulders out of your ears, tuck your toes, press up high plank, and then tip your hips down dog. Walk your hands back. Instead of having your chest rounded, try and open it, press your heels down. Maybe take a moment to do one at a time. Bend the opposite knee, nod your head yes and shake it no, and then bend your knees a whole bunch so that you can stick your tailbone way up in the air and then begin to straighten them. Good. Legs a little wider apart, walk back. Grab the back of your neck, slide your hands down to your skull, give it a gentle pull, and then hands on your thighs, bend the knees a whole bunch, meet me halfway. Give me a cat and give me a cow. Big deep breath in. Happy